So apparently this is the most powerful street-legal vehicle Ford has ever sold.
Let's see how that feels on the streets. Oh.
According to Ford, the latest Shelby GT500 puts down some right zippy figures that we'll exploit at the drag strip shortly. Facilitating that acceleratory drama is a hand-built 5.2-liter supercharged V8, making massive numbers that I would say aloud if it didn't defy this video's premise. So here's some on-screen text. Okay, that's pretty dazzling.
And right now you might be thinking, wait, doesn't Dodge have an 800 horsepower, something, blah, blah, blah. It's a car, not a math problem. Back to how it feels. And scene.
The deceleration yin to the 5.2 liters raucous yang are these Brembo brakes. I'm told they offer greater thermal absorption than the brakes on the GT350.
But the more...
Given its lofty performance potential, you might think this ultimate Mustang would be inhospitable during normal driving.
And you would be wrong. In normal mode, the MagneRide dampers do a really great job delivering a surprisingly comfortable ride. Hey Mike, how does this compare to your car? He owns a Ford GT. No, a Ford Mustang GT. The GT guy's in the back seat.
A lot better. Like, it's a lot more uncomfortable.
A lot better. It's way comfortable. And I'll also add there's a quiet mode for the exhaust. And when you flip it on after being in normal sport or track mode, eerie quiet. I'm accelerating, but you can't tell. See, I told you the GT guy was back there. Wave, Carl, wave. On a comfort-related note, the lack of a manual transmission is displeasing. But the lack of a third pedal over here, cop! Hey, and I was driving the speed limit. Woo! That's interrupting my DCT conversation, but sharing this moment of joy. The lack of a third pedal means a more relaxed drive, which is kind of nice. And I will say that the dual clutch transmission works really well. Leaving from a stop, there's none of that jerkiness that you get with some dual clutches, so that's A-okay. I will say I have noticed as you tip into the throttle, every once in a while there's a weird clunk from the driveline. Don't know what that's about. Just forget it and just floor it. And the cop's back there. I don't notice the driveline lash when I'm hauling ass. Can I say ass in a KBB video, Carl?
That's allowed.
Okay, it's allowed.
Only in extreme circumstances, this accounts.
Yay! One aspect of the GT500 I really like is the steering. Stable in a straight line, but when the road curves, as it's conveniently doing right now, there's this great precision and controllability. It's very confidence-inspiring. Makes you want to drive dangerously fast. Is that cool, everybody? Can I drive dangerously fast?
Yay! Go for it.
The boss says I can go for it. And braking. Got a lot to live for.
For just cruising around, the GT500 acquaints itself bizarrely well with public roads. Nonetheless, like lighting a candle with a flamethrower, this guy is way overbuilt for street duty. If you wisely take your GT500 to a track, what can you expect? Well, a lot of this.
Jeez.
All right, item 1, drag racing.
I'm not a drag racer. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see how this goes. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was almost 130 miles an hour. Whew.
My best quarter-mile run was 11.44 seconds. That's very quick considering there was a 20-mile-per-hour headwind at the track, and I don't know what I'm doing. We'll just give the car all the credit. On that note, though, with line lock and launch control, fast passes in the Shelby are thrilling, but not particularly engaging. As the driver, all you do is plant the accelerator, and then when you're ready to launch, lift your foot off the brake. Maybe we'll find deeper engagement on a track that curves.
You know, you feel like a badass sitting in the GT500, and then an F-15 Strike Eagle goes by, and it's like, I guess I'm kind of cool. All right, let's go make some memories. You know, it is really nice to unleash the 5.2 liter in a place that doesn't risk imprisonment. Ooh. So one big area of focus with the GT500 is the dual clutch transmission, and on a track, in track mode, it's doing a wonderful job being in the correct gear at all times. So I'm coming to the braking zone, hard brake, downshifts. That's just exactly what I needed to do. Would have done that myself, except I didn't have to. Very nice, DCT. Yeah, the lack of a manual transmission really kind of refocuses your attention so that you don't think so much about the gear changes. You can spend a little more time thinking about where you want the car pointed. All right, so this is a very fast straight. Let's feel those brakes. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's good. I could have braked later. Just a little wiggle. And if you're wondering, right now I'm driving with the traction control button pressed, so I don't have full off because I don't want to do anything to risk damaging the car. Little trail brake, see what happens, little gas, little step, little counter steer. Gives you just a little bit of room to play with, but not so much rope that you'll hang yourself. Steering feels a little bit heavy for my taste. So you can actually switch that up here on the steering wheel with the button. Now I'm in sports. That's nice, not too heavy. And yeah. It's interesting because I might have expected a more tail-happy nature. It feels balanced. Yeah, with all that power, it still really hooks up coming out of corners. It's not just flashy needless power. You can actually put it to the ground, which is sort of surprising. All right, let's cool down. I think the only disappointment I have in driving the GT500 on track is that it doesn't give you much of that supercharger whine noise. You feel a lot of the exhaust sound coming through the cabin. I want like the opening scenes to I Am Legend, the wah! I'm also surprised that instead of being an unapproachable murder snake, that the GT500 is like very accessible. I don't feel like it wants to bite you, God help me. I wasn't going for the pun there. I'm just saying this is fun, not dangerous, which is great.
If I have an objection to our modern era horsepower wars, it's that car makers seem to be chasing bragging rights rather than truly usable performance. I mean, a Mustang GT can spin its tires just fine. Do we really need another 300-something horsepower? Apparently, the answer is yes, because somehow the 2020 GT500's massive power can be exploited by a range of driver talent levels. This is a very fast, very fun expression of traditional American pony car values that lives to serve the driver rather than intimidate them. Neat trick. Of course, if you want to play, you gotta pay. Base price is about $70,000 plus gas guzzler shame and destination charges. But do you really want a stock GT500? You'll probably want the tech package and the handling package, or hey, why not live a little and spring for the carbon fiber track package? Is that a typo? No, I'm being told that $18,500 is the correct price. That sounds steep, but look at all you get. Ooh, plus that GT4 style rear wing adds 550 pounds of downforce at 180 miles an hour. Yeah, that seems like a smart way to burn down your retirement. As a frugal car buyer, I always think, what else could I spend my money on? If that's the game you're playing, then the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, which is a little less powerful, and the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat come to mind, obviously. And we can't forget the new mid-engine C8 Corvette, whose starting price awkwardly undercuts the GT500's.